Hello and welcome to the 2019 Discraft Ledgestone Insurance Open. Coverage is provided by Earth+Him CBD Specialties. This is stop number 6 on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. We've got Germinate commentary here. Myself, Jeremy Koling, joined by Nate Perkins.
Jeremy, this is right where I want to be on this Saturday morning watching disc golf with you. We got Paul McBeth.
Former champ. He does really well out here. He's always been in his element.
And he is just on this year. Absolutely on.
Simon Lizotte, 2015 Ledgestone champion, looking as stoic as ever. Garrett getting voted in here on the feature group.
Yeah, a recent national tour champion.
Got 6th place last year, done very well. And look at that. Oh, a little shout out to the Big Germ Grip 6 belt from Dana. Had to hook him up with that moments before the round started. He's looking good.
Obviously, this is like a warm-up for Worlds. That's why I think most of us came back here. And for me, yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about 4 years back, and no one really does that. But I've heard that like so many times this week already, so I guess I'm here to repeat, and I feel ready.
All right.
It's kind of a repeat, right?
So he wins the tournament and then doesn't come back for 4 years.
Is that what it is?
He hasn't been there since he won.
Yeah, I guess it would be a repeat. We got 2 players going for the repeat this year. Paul and Simon.
But Paul won a few years back.
Right,
Nate won last year.
Because Nate's not here.
Yeah.
So this is complicated.
So interesting.
Hole 1, the
Right.
main goal, first hole event, you just want to crush a drive across this wall. If you don't, you have to go to a very difficult drop zone.
This is one of those holes that it makes you just tense up, you know? You've got that tree right to your right, so you can't really swing this wide. You kind of have to put this one on Anheuser and really commit to this shot.
Right.
I see a lot of people dunk this one in the water.
Yep. It happens quite a bit. A lot of players want to go with an overstable, high-speed disc, and that fades out at that long distance. But Paul's going with his brand new signature disc from Discraft, the Onyx. Really excited to watch this thing fly, and it looks really nice and overstable. And oh yeah, I thought for a second he might have been pushing that, but that was never in any danger whatsoever.
From Grass Valley, California, Garrett Gurthie.
Garrett, one of those players that has that kind of that danger element where he could actually like go for it. Like,
I'm curious how far up the fairway he's looking. Like I imagine he's looking at circle 2.
Oh wow, yeah, that's definitely a rip to try to get in the circle 2 range. That is a ridiculous pull. Oh my!
Whoa!
Yeah. Yep, circle 2.
Definitely circle 2.
And he's past the basket.
Oh my gosh! And it was on hyzer too. It left his hand on hyzer.
Oh man!
It never ceases to amaze us.
Yeah. Dana, one of the local favorite pros from the Illinois area.
Yeah, from just up the road. Proud father of 2.
2 beautiful baby. Not babies, but
really awesome to see Dana on this card, though. I know he's super stoked to be here, and he actually just took a full-time position with this Mania.
Congratulations.
So he's got his work cut out for him, and
it's a great safe shot.
Really nice shot. I know he's probably feeling the nerves on that first tee.
Simon Lizotte.
He's kind of eyeing the basket a little bit. Looks like he had that eye of the tiger, but this is a nice, safe shot there with his first run PD2, and that's just going to be in bounds. Should be just an easy pitch up for 3 of these players, while Garrett has an actual putt at the basket.
Yeah, those are 4 absolutely ideal shots. I mean, none of those players even risk hyzering out into the water. This approach can be pretty tricky going uphill because right behind that pin, it drops off into the lake. It's inside the circle, actually.
Oh, yeah. You're within 25 feet, you could be out of bounds long, and if you just crest that hill at all, you can see Paul's being very cautious with that one. That's just fine, 18 feet short. But if you get over that hill, there's nothing really stopping it.
And I imagine we're going to see that putter quite a bit from Paul. He's been throwing that. It's like it's the Luna, but it's like a premium plastic Luna, and it's a stable version of it, and he's been throwing it all over the place.
Yeah, I think it's the Big Z. And Garrett just making life as easy as possible, not really running that putt at all, which I can understand that. It's kind of a difficult putt.
Up and in from 20 feet. It's like we're lined up for a star frame in this whole one.
Yeah, and you didn't really get a feel at all by watching this how disastrous this hole can be. But, this card just played at 4 under, but the hole only averaged 3.99, just barely under par. And this is just one of 2 holes on the day that averaged below par, if I'm not wrong. And that's $25 to charity right there with another star frame. Moving on to hole 2, it's par 4, 615 feet. Low ceiling tee shot, as you can see right here. You want to keep it low, but this grass is like Velcro, so to get the right height to get the distance you want requires a really perfect shot. Sidearm play is pretty common, sometimes backhand rollers, backhand mid-range turnovers, and then you have a very tight green with that big bushy tree on the right side blocking the putt.
Whoa.
Oh.
Whoa. That might have been a good tree. That might have had a little too much angle on it.
I kind of liked it.
Did you like that?
Mm-hmm. I thought it would have been fine.
So Garrett's going with the rock 3 right up the middle.
Mm-hmm. And that's pretty safe. Probably 100 feet further away than you'd like to be. This is in trouble if this does not fade out. Or,
wow.
the greatest kick ever back in bounds.
Absolutely. Going OB early right is pretty much worst case scenario because it puts you in that position to kind of...
Speak of the devil. This is heading, right there.
So Simon's going to be in a position where he might have to go out over the out of bounds to reach his pin if he really wants to try and get up and down for par.
I'm curious to see how aggressive Paul's playing it. Going high and hyzer here. And this is a really dangerous play because you have the water, you get the out of bounds left, but...
Guarantee you he'd never practiced from right
No.
there. Not a chance.
And that was a great shot. That's all the distance you need. Should be a pretty short approach for Paul from there.
I'm loving the angles from up front to see the players' kind of emotions and focus before they're throwing.
Absolutely.
That needs to get down.
Oh, and Garrett's gone out of bounds, and that is just outside circle 1. Maybe it's circle 2's edge.
That's his go-to rock 3 right now,
I
too,
know,
and
he
it's
just-
gone for the rest of the round.
He just got it back.
Is
too.
that the one he just got back?
I don't know. Maybe
Same
not.
disc?
Maybe not. I know that he just got one back. I saw
Yeah.
on social media. That's a good shot from Simon to give himself a long look at that par putt. But that is a scary par putt with the...
Yeah. Tails off quick.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, and Dana's just got this forehand a little too turned over.
And you can see that drop in the water, too. Man, this card is struggling. Paul's really the only one in position to save the easy par, but it's really not that easy, as you can see.
No, this is a tough shot. Straddle around with the zone.
Oh, and he is actually in danger as well. We're looking at an anti-star frame here.
The anti-star frame.
The Nova frame.
Yeah, sometimes it's good to see this. It's good to see how difficult these holes really are because this is not an easy birdie. And if you're out of position, it's certainly not an easy par.
Pull up and just off to the left. Simon with a good look here from 48 feet or so. He is off the top.
It's a good check down right there.
And Garrett still has some work for his 5. Oh, just in the basket. This whole card looks like they're going to be, well, barring the Dana Vicich 15-footer, all at even through 2. Oh, yeah, spoke too soon.
And just a little awkward on that shadow putt.
Mm-hmm.
Just like this, the legs weren't really in sync with the arm.
Yeah. Dana's got a form that I've seen work for him in ways that, like, just blow me away, and he gets on these fire runs. I'm thinking of a couple of rounds where he blew the field away.
Yeah, he's shot the hard round at the World Championships in
and
past years.
But, he just doesn't get as much time to play tournaments with the 2 kids, with his 2 daughters. But that's no excuses. I'm not making any excuses for the guy. He's a great player. Maybe a little bit of tournament nerves, not being as used to the tournament action as he maybe once was.
Yeah.
But, it's just hole 2, so we get to see what happens here. Hole 3 is just a straight shot right up the gut. 270 feet, probably plays closer to 300.
And you got that OB road all along the left side, and a lot of these backhand shots, if you kiss any of those trees, they really like to push left, don't they?
They really do. Paul's
and
pushing way long.
Just-
No, not way long. Just perfect.
Just splits those last trees, and you really, he didn't pure his line. He kind of split those last few pines. Right here, you see he really wants to go straight. He splits these last two, but
Just
sometimes you need a
perfect
little
nose
course
angle.
love to park a shot
Yeah.
like that.
Good nose control to be able to throw a full putter shot and have it land just a couple feet long. And this is a play I saw a couple of people doing in practice. The nice wide hyzer line.
It looks like maybe one of the biggest gaps. I didn't even realize it was there.
It doesn't look like much from the tee unless you like walk a couple steps off to the right. This is the most preferred route you're going to see people play, but
Oh, and see,
Simon was closer to his line, so of course he hits a tree.
right, his shot was actually better than Paul's, but it didn't drift far enough right and missed that last pine.
And that's the way woods golf tends to be very often. And Dana's just a little bit earlier, and
Good second kick, though, to not kick OB. You see, that could be danger real quick.
none of these guys are too sidearm prominent. I know that Paul likes to go with the forehand, but if he can throw the straight putter shot, he's going to. But there is a really good forehand route over the road.
Yeah, are you taking it out over the road?
It's
You're going up the middle.
based on the
forehand.
wind.
Yeah.
Based on the wind. If it's no wind, I'm going up the middle. If it's a little bit headwind, I'm going to go hyzer. And we got a couple missed putts there. Garrett just inside the circle. Paul's going to step up for the only birdie on the card. What was the average on hole 3 here, Nate? Wow.
Oh, it actually played over par.
Quite a bit at 3.29.
That
That's
just
incredible.
goes to show you. I mean, going out early left with that forehand, like we were talking about, it brings the bogey into play, but it also brings the double into play because then your approach, you also have to split some guardians.
Yeah. Hole 4, definitely one of the hardest par 3s you're going to play. Low ceiling here, and then it just starts tapering down this hill all the way. You have OB cart path on the right. There's a mandatory that keeps people from going super wide, but no, that's not really in play unless you kind of shank it. Then you get down to the green, and you got this basket on a mound, and it continues the slope away. So there's just so many elements. Birdie on this one is, without a question, a big-time bonus birdie.
There's Paul going with that stable putter again.
He's going Luna down the inside route.
And that's such an interesting line to me. It almost makes me think he's playing this one for a 3 because really the play on this hole is to get something that's flipping up late and moving down that gap.
And Garrett is also going down the left side.
There's that late flip,
Oh, yeah. This is going to be left.
a little high. Oh,
That would have been left. Now Garrett's got decisions to make.
that's
but
a good, yeah, absolutely.
Most
Good-
likely gonna
good
lay that
result,
one up.
though.
That's a hard putt to run from 50 feet.
Simon's going for that left side. He puts this one out on Anheuser. It needs just a little bit of hyzer.
Well, I think it caught that tree. So he'll have a...
He's also in layup land.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact, actually, Dana, 10 years ago, ran the Greater Peoria Open
Oh.
and was the first person to put temp holes around this lake.
Oh, really?
And this hole is actually Dana's original design, the only original hole from his course.
That's awesome information. I love that kind of stuff. And Simon leaving that a bit short, and that's
He's
a really tricky putt.
Yeah, he's going to have to, straddle around that leaning tree right there. Dana smartly just lays that one up.
Paul as well.
Oh, wow.
Really hemmed
Wow.
up there. Mhm.
That's really surprising from that distance.
And Simon with a weird... Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow.
We couldn't really see how blocked that putt.
Oh.
Oh, no. No.
And
This is an actual meltdown.
a triple.
What is he? Is he going to score a 6?
A triple. Just like that. 15 feet away for the 3. And shout out to Earth+Him CBD Specialties.
This is just really awesome seeing all the different companies that are getting involved with the game.
Yeah, it's really cool. Man, I don't even know what to say after what we just saw from Simon, but we got to move on to the baseball field hole. Hole 5, par 3, 476 feet. This one's a monster. This is a do or die. You commit to laying up or you commit to going for it. And
Yeah,
those are your two options.
even for elite players, they're still making the decision to possibly lay up, which you don't really see often.
And Paul going for the super high wide driver shot. That's going to get him inbounds. Right at that long bonus putt distance at 60 feet or so.
Yeah, that was a pretty conservative play from Paul.
That is like his safe play that gives him a chance for the birdie still. Garrett.
This is not conservative.
No, not conservative whatsoever.
I think that might have been a little early out of his hand.
Yeah, but he's in the circle.
Okay.
Past the
Did it not look so left?
Yeah, but you don't throw like Garrett. Neither do I.
Okay.
So,
I don't even understand the physics of
neither one of
his
us do.
flight.
Dana, this is a nice looking conservative shot. Or, yeah, very conservative. That's going to get over the fence right at that same distance where Paul was.
It's interesting, though, to lay up to circle 2 because that's still such a rip,
Right.
you know?
Right. Well, just that extra bit of distance going for the green is quite a bit longer. And you see a lot of people that go for it hit the backside of those Discraft posters on the baseball field side, which is out of bounds and takes you to almost certainly a 5 range because the drop zone is so far away from the basket. And Dana didn't really like it out of his hand, but that'll be an easy 3.
Speaking of those posters, though, Discraft's kind of killing it with those, aren't they? Video game poster.
Yeah, it's they have their look. That's
Yeah.
their thing.
Kind of dig it.
Well,
Okay.
that's more feet than the 3 putts that he just had in the last hole combined. Right there. That one putt.
And that's the mark of a 1030, 1040 rated player right
Yeah.
there to
Sure.
triple a hole and then just to come back and to the next one.
Yeah,
like
it's a
that.
big 2. Garrett with a big 2. He says, "You got some, I got some for you too." Inside the circle, past the basket. That's like the definition of Garrett things.
All right, moving on to hole 6, 897-foot par 4. It used to be a par 5, right?
Yeah, nothing changed.
Yeah.
They just decided to make it a par 4.
Yeah. There are only a handful of players that are trying to attack this one in 3. It
Yep.
really, the first drive is pretty wide. There's OB left, OB right. These players are looking to get maybe 400 feet off the tee. And maybe as close to that right side as possible for players like Garrett, Simon, and Paul, who are likely attacking this one for 3.
Yeah, I think that if you play this hole for a 4, it becomes a pretty easy par. But if you're going for that birdie, bogey, double bogey, triple bogey come into the equation immediately because it requires a really wide hanging hyzer shot. If that never comes back in bounds, you don't get to advance much, and you're throwing your next shot, and now you're trying to just save bogey. And that can be a cycle that people get into over and over again, and you see some people's rounds ruined on this hole.
This is definitely the hole that has collected the largest numbers over the years. I mean, I remember 13s and 14s.
Oh, yeah.
I remember Greg taking a big number. I remember it used to be stroking.
It was stroking
distance. That's
Yeah.
what it is. Not anymore technically, but if you do hang it out over that right side OB and never come back in, essentially is.
And Dana going for the nice committed shot there to get back inbounds. That's looking like a good shot. Oh, yeah.
Very nice shot in front of the birdhouse. Yeah.
That's just almost a jump putt away for Dana to get the 4 on this one. Garrett showing a little bit of aggressiveness. Looks pretty good. Oh, my
yes.
gosh. Wow. And I didn't realize how close that was, but that was a definite pucker factor for Garrett for probably 99.8% of that flight.
And it needed that little hop, and it got the little hop right over the
Look
the
at
rope.
this. Paul just makes playing aggressive look so easy. Like it's just a simple game plan for him, just like a normal hyzer, 35 feet.
And that green is small, too. You can see right there.
Super
There's
small.
OB early left. There's OB long. There's OB right.
And Simon this looks pretty good, but it could be in danger of going, no, it's not out of bounds left. It's perfect. Those are all great shots. We got 3 players putting for legitimate chances at birdie, and Dana just a jump putt away. Little half throw. walk away with a 4 on this one with a smile on his face.
Yeah, this card is absolutely crushing this hole right now. Hole 6 played a full stroke over par.
Plus some.
You don't see that very often.
Oh, just left side and in. Paul McBeth with a big-time bonus birdie. He just don't really think of, like, getting a 3 on this one. You know, like, Simon was thinking about that, but now isn't thinking about that anymore. And he's safe. A wry smile on his face. And Garrett, don't
roll.
Okay, whew. Man, that was close to being another highlight birdie. Only 2 on the day, though.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
And we just saw one of them.
Yeah, James Conrad and McBeth.
That's gross because that was in the pouring rain.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I saw James on hole 5 with no umbrella and no towels, and I went running to my car and went and found him, and he was just soaking wet, big smile on his face. Like, that's crazy that he threed this hole in the rain.
Well, for you guys at home, Peoria, Illinois is in the middle of a storm right now. I don't know if we're going to play another hole without rain. This tee time is at 10 o'clock. If you
One
had
of the more premium tee times.
If you had to tee off at 2 o'clock, there were a lot of groups that teed off between 2 and 3:30, I think was the last one, and it rained the entire round for those guys. So
yeah, we actually had a delay, an hour, 15-minute delay, some lightning.
Well, hole 7 is probably it's the second easiest hole in the course. I thought it might be the easiest one, but it's just a straight shot right up the gut. Only thing that's scary is that there is a river on the left, and if it goes in there, you can just say goodbye to your disc because that thing is raging. This is a beautiful shot right up the middle.
It's that late tree, and he's going to have a tricky little straddle putt around that tree.
Oh, Simon, probably fortunate tree to catch there. I don't know if that was going out of bounds, but I think it kept it about as close to the basket as possible.
Mm-hmm.
Dana with a nice-looking forehand. Oh, everyone catching a tree at some point in their flight.
Those are going to be inside the circle.
Wow, Paul way back. It's crazy to think
Knows it.
he's going to take the same score on the 6 as he is on 7. That's crazy to
Whoa,
think.
yeah, that's a good point. Dana sneaks that one in there.
Great putt. Simon with a nice straddle putt. Putting like a savage. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's good, Jeremy. I felt like that was
And Garrett.
Good placement.
Oh, yeah.
Good ad placement.
As long as it's not like in throwing range, as long as it's not like waist high, then signs on the green, fine by me. Because if you get on the
I
green
agree.
and you got something that's in your chest.
Yeah. Like, what was that?
No,
Like,
no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there.
oh, man.
Hole 8, another brutal par 4.
Yeah. Can we talk about how tricky this gap is right here?
The gap is tricky.
How
off the
far away
tee.
is it? Like 300 feet away, maybe?
Yeah, at least, if not a little bit more. But then after you clear that gap, if you do, then you've got another 400 feet plus some to get to this pin, which is on a tiny peninsula. There's obviously the river left, but there's also a little tiny pond right. So it is just incredibly difficult all the way around. Oh, and Garrett getting a nice little mac to get through the gap, but that is going to be a real tough risk-reward approach from that distance.
I would say the majority of the field is not thinking birdie 3 on this hole.
No, I would agree with that.
And even Simon's shot right there, decent shot through the gap, hyzering left, but he's kind of pinched off and angle isn't favorable to attack. It's a good looking release from Dana with that swirly cloud breaker.
And McBeth at the bottom of the box, going to try to get another, just try to go 3-3-3 here. Could you imagine that? 3 on 6, 3 on 7, 3 on 8, like just the two best scores and one of the worst scores in succession. And Garrett hanging it out nice and wide.
Smooth in the rock.
Yeah, he's so smooth with that disc. One of my favorite rock throws of all time. Watching Garrett throw it, he's just so buttery with it.
Absolutely. And that was actually a layup
Mhm.
from Garrett. It's kind of the common play if you're out of position to just lay up to that stump and
Yeah.
pitch it up there.
You
You
gotta
run a long putt.
you gotta throw it so far, and even Garrett, who can flip up like a straight driver for that distance, you're still bringing in a lot of speed on this green, which requires a nice soft shot. Like you see Simon here putting a little bit of Anheuser on it, but that's gonna land so soft, right inside the circle.
Yeah,
Beautiful
that's
approach.
absolutely what you need. Most players don't have the distance to be able to throw a mid that far,
Right.
or a putter, as we see Paul doing.
And this is drifting a little bit left.
Does
As
that
long
got
as
too much hyzer?
Oh,
No,
okay.
it doesn't. Just sticks. I'm
Just
so confused.
Parks it with a putter. That is so good. Garrett with his sonic approach, he'll have a happy smile on his face for walking away to the bridge hole. And Dan, giving that a little
Yeah,
bit
that
of
was
run.
a pretty little air bounce shot.
Mm-hmm.
This is a death putt for sure. Putting a little bit uphill.
Yes.
That's a great 3 from Simon to get back to even par.
Yeah, he's kind of had the little roller coaster. He's got all sorts of colors on his scorecard down there.
Oh, I mean, when you look, he's still scratching his head over there, even after the great birdie 3. He still just can't believe his.
The 3-putt disaster on 4 was tough to watch.
Yes, it was. This is unreal right now, though. The putter approach.
Yeah. And we have a 180 player field. Only 8 players in the entire field was able to get the 3 there. Well, hey guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching the first round of the Ledgestone. If you guys enjoy the coverage, you got to like and subscribe. That's the one way that you guys can show us the support in the best possible way. So thank you for tuning in. Let's get back to the action.
Thank you. All right, the infamous bridge hole.
Yes, it
So
is.
we had a lot of rain in the month of May here in Peoria, and so we've actually moved this pin over to the left. Previously was kind of the layup zone for the other pin.
So it was a weather move. That's why they moved.
That's right.
That
Yeah,
makes
it was
sense.
all flooded down there. But it's still a tricky hole. It's not a very big green. It's OB everywhere, and if you miss it, you're going straight to a drop zone.
Does Simon like it? I think Simon likes it. See,
Yes.
this is the kind of hole where Simon doesn't even, there's no stress in Simon whatsoever. When he steps up to a hole like this, it's a hyzer shot, and he's already thinking about maybe hole 10. When I step up to this hole, I'm like, there's so many things going through my head of all the things that could possibly happen. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't.
Come on, Germ.
I'm serious, dude.
You're so
Like,
good.
no, it's not that. It's just that, something about this bridge just kind of makes you feel like you're in a straitjacket a bit.
Yeah, I totally feel that, and there always seems to be a little bit of, oh no, Garrett goes left long, OB. That's hard to do.
That's hard to do with that
Yeah.
hill like that. He's gonna have to go to the drop zone from there.
But I completely agree with you. For most players, this one definitely makes you think. I mean, because if you hit the bridge, which I saw a lot of players do, your disc is done for forever.
Forever.
And it might go in the creek and your OB. So it definitely makes you think.
It's like, oh, wow.
That looked great.
It did look like I was going in for a second.
And, this hole is pretty routine for these righties, but I was talking to quite a few of the lefties, and it's just, without a big forehand, it's virtually impossible to stick this green.
And Paul, as far right as you can putt, stays in the chains, collects the birdie.
And just like that, he's 4 under on the difficult front 9 with a bogey.
This is definitely the harder of the 2 9s. The front 9 is all about getting through. If you can come in at anything under par feels great in the front 9. Just you have those bruiser holes. You got 2, you got 4, you got 6, and 8. Actually, all the even number holes on the front 9 are really difficult. And if you can get through those without many bogeys, he only had 1 to speak of. You set yourself up really well for some good scoring on the back 9. Well, thanks for tuning in to the front 9 coverage. First round, a little shout out to the JomezPro Founders Club there on the right side. Thank you guys so much for Patreon subscribing and
that's awesome.
Tune in and liking and commenting on all the videos. Catch you guys for the back 9 shortly.